Okay, hey, there's an update with some of the stuff with Desert Star. This isn't going to take long at all, but I thought I'd be fair and equitable in terms of my reporting because that's what I do, plus other things. Um, but I got a call from the federal government. I guess the gym situation's fine. I mean, admittedly, I never went in the locker rooms, our girls' locker room. I never felt the need to. And I had been told that the boys were bigger than ours, like bigger. So that's what I was basing it on, and it just looking at the layout, it didn't look like the same size. But the federal government said that the spaces are pretty much equitable, except for the space for the urinals for the boys. That's it. So they're clean there, but there have been some fixes, I guess, made for them. Their scheduling, the way they scheduled things, I guess they've had to modify a few things. So they kind of, I did tell the lady at Title IX that they kind of fudged it a little bit, I think, with, well, there's this and the schedules and the drama. No. Okay. And I did say, hey, I've talked to a lot of people and since this happened, and you don't keep pushing the same team out of their practice facility for dumb reasons. Dances, parent teacher conferences you could have done anywhere else, a theater group, some of these little cute little activities they did for the kids. I don't have a problem with what they were doing, by the way, for these other kids to have some activities. I thought that's great. But you don't keep bumping the same team out of the gym all the time. And even though they kind of like were saying, well, they can't do that on the football field. Why didn't they have a picnic? Why did they have a special events when the weather got better? Because in the last month I was there, the weathers weren't that bad at afternoons. So why couldn't you have done stuff? So there was just that. So, I mean, they are duly noted. They understand. The main concern for them had been the gym. That was their main concern. And, of course, the practice availability. And they said that has been addressed. So kudos to Desert Star for hopefully moving in that direction, where they're going to be a little smarter about it and get the job done and do what's right for the kids. It doesn't change the facts of what happened to me and what's happened to others here. And quite frankly, I interviewed for quite a few jobs, and now I'm just deciding what I'm going to do next. But I've talked to people who were part of the AIA application for Desert Star, and let's just say there's still a lot of questions hanging over their head. And I didn't realize who I was interviewing with. I was just interviewing, and they said, oh yeah, I was on the committee to accept their application, and kind of shared some stuff with them, and and they were like, yeah, well, there's still a lot of issues with Desert Star. So their problems aren't over yet. There's definitely a perception throughout the state, I guess, because this one particular woman seems to be a big heavy hitter, so she probably knows a lot. It just, it's a school run by fans. They're not really that qualified. Probably the people working for them are probably more qualified than the people bossing people around, to be honest with you. But as long as they're doing right by the kids, that's all that matters. But again, what they did to me, not cool. What they've done to others, not cool. Just hanging around town, it's interesting the stories you hear. So, hopefully they can do the right thing for the young people, or maybe just stop doing it and let them do something where it's beneficial to them. But hopefully, it does work out for the kids especially. And yeah, that's pretty much that. And then last but not least, I thought a lot about it. I'm gonna miss these girls from the volleyball team quite a bit. I mean, I shared some stories about them and when I was interviewing, and they were just great. And no matter what I end up doing, wherever it is, if it's, maybe locally, it may most likely be further away. But they were great. And someone even asked me, because I've coached, I think, a couple dozen teams, basketball, tennis, volleyball. And I honestly believe that was my greatest pride and joy of that team. It showed something to me, but it was just mostly about, me and my history of doing this. But I was really just to see what they were able to overcome, the mistakes by the administration, being behind the eight ball compared to everyone, and just to see them grow so fast and play with that feistiness, and they had insecurities and they had these dips, but just like my friend said, the way they served with just this attitude, just trying to hit as hard as they could, and they were so effective as the year went on, and that was a big sign of their growing confidence. And so I do believe they're going to be really good next year, depending on obviously who the coach is. But I mean, I think that won't matter very much. I think they're going to be better enough to where they're going to win anyway. I mean, good teams should win despite bad coaching. Like if you're really good, you're going to find a way to win at least half your games. So I think with them, the girls that are going back, hopefully, and staying there, and the kids that they're going to get, probably to join them from either the middle and maybe the hallways who had said they would play. I think they're going to be really good comparatively. I think they've gotten through the BS mentally. I think they'll remember those feelings and fix them. I mean, they're all bright young women, and they'll be fine. They'll be really fine. And now it's just a matter of learning how to make plays at certain times and how to hit a ball and how to maybe start working on blocking finally, because we couldn't really do that. And I think that they'll be great. And I'm for one gonna be hoping they are. Unlike the clown that called me and tried to threaten me and say that they're gonna be better without you. I'm like, what do you think I was gonna say? I hope there are. What? I mean, there are a lot of coaches out there that are actually like that because it's all about them. But no, I mean, I hope they win, and I hope they do great, and I hope if I choose to, take one of these possibilities and get back on a court, because I have some other things I'm debating. But yeah, I mean, I just don't want to disappoint them and, do a bad job. I want to be able to say that, hey, I'm better because of you, and I am, but I got to show it. So I'm sure they'll be fine. We'll see how I do, but I'm just glad that the Title IX people talked to them, investigated it a little bit. Sounds like they did some cleanup on some of the scheduling issues and availability issues, and the only thing they just need to do is get that fucking drama class out of there. They just do. Go to a goddamn classroom. Every freaking school I've talked to, every coach I've talked to have all said it. They have either they have an auditorium or they clear out a classroom and they do it in there. And there's a few classrooms just in the middle school alone that are quite sizable. You clear the chairs, you have a stage. You don't need to be on that stage all the time. They could have been on that stage every Friday when there's no school. Schedule would have been a lot easier to figure out. No problem. But no, let's push everyone back. And that's not a coincidence that they decided to do that. And then I went from having 24 middle school girls at my meeting to 12 or 13 playing. So, it's because when they found that out that they'd have to practice later, I'm sure it turned off some people. And they also lost them to soccer. So, I mean, there's just a lot of other things that they got to fix. But I think this is a good thing. And I wanted it out there on record, because I called them out on how they treated me and some of these other issues with how they treated scheduling and whatever. And the gym. But no, I'm glad that they seem to be figuring some of this stuff out. So yeah, onward and upward. I'm good. So hopefully you're all good, and we'll see what happens, and just let's go and see these young ladies continue to grow and benefit from it. Take care. Best of luck.